What's up, guys? This is Lawn Chaser here. I want to talk a little bit about gun control and what gun control really does. First off, I want to start off by saying that to all of y'all that's saying, oh, all these gun control laws, they could eliminate crime from happening. No. Gun control does not eliminate crime from happening. Gun control, as a matter of fact, gun control, the only thing that gun control really eliminates is the right and the ability to be able to defend yourself against a personal attack or somebody that wants to kill you. That's the only thing it's going to defend yourself against. The reason why I'm talking about this is because, there was a shooting that happened in Roseburg, Oregon, at a community college up in Roseburg, Oregon today. 13, as far as I know right now, 13 people lost their lives, including the gunman, and more than 20 others got injured. And I just want to say that it was a horrible thing. And I really feel for the victims of the families. For the families of the victims, excuse me. And my thoughts and prayers are going out to those people. But here's the thing. I just know that the media is going to get fired up on all this gun control nonsense. So I want to go ahead and say this. Gun control is not going to solve the problem. Okay? You gotta look at also how many other things can also be used as weapons. People use knives as weapons. And guess what? We use knives to cut meat with. Okay? You don't have to have a gun to be able to kill somebody. I can choke somebody to death with my own bare hands. Should we ban the use of using our own bare hands? No. Okay? See, what good is gun control really going to do? It's not. Because those who obey the law are going to have to suffer when somebody comes up and tries to rob them, or in the worst case, tries to kill them. They can't defend themselves against somebody who already has a gun or has another weapon. The bad guy's going to get the better end of it. Okay? Also, areas where there's a lot of gun control laws, people will think that there's going to be the most safest areas. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, there are some of the most dangerous areas. Because what is a gun-free zone really going to do? Is it going to stop criminals from coming? No. Criminals won't care if it's a gun-free zone. Matter of fact, the only thing that the criminal knows is that nobody else is armed. So guess what? He's going to walk right in with his gun, and guess what? Everything's going to go downhill. A few years ago, up in Aurora, Colorado, the man that went into the movie theater that night and shot a lot of people, he didn't go to the nearest movie theater. He didn't go to the movie theater that was nearest to his house. He went to that movie theater because that movie theater did not allow anyone to bring a concealed weapon into that movie theater. So he went to that one and killed a bunch of people. That would not, it would have definitely been a lot different if people were allowed to bring their guns. Okay? Same thing, same thing in these schools and at these colleges. Okay? Well, at these college campuses, people can't bring guns. Why is that? Because so many people are afraid of guns? Well, guess what? Does the criminal really care? No. So one guy went into that college today and shot a bunch of people. What about the other 30 people? What about the other 33 people that were not armed? There's a likely chance they could have taken him out first. I'm not going to get too much into that. Because, this is obviously a personal thing for a lot of those, for the families of those victims. And I'm going to respect that. Also, another thing. If these gun control laws, or gun confiscation laws, as I like to call it, get passed, guess where the guns are going to go to? They're going to go right to the government. The government's going to get all the guns, and so will the bad guys. Yeah, you may think that, well, once the government gets the guns, it may be hard to get to them. But guess what? Once the bad guy figures out a way to get to them, guess what? It's no longer going to be hard. He's going to go tell his friends, hey, this is what you got to do. Man, this is what you got to do. I found out a way to get all these guns. This is what you got to do, man. Da-da-da-da-da. Boom. And all of a sudden, it's easy for them. That's what's going to happen. When the government bans all the guns, they're going to get all the guns. And guess what? The government's already corrupt enough as is, unfortunately. But yes. And when they get all the guns, they're going to be the ones with all the power. Them and all the bad guys. Also, people think that the ones that think that that getting rid of the gun is going to help solve the problem. No, it's going to help make the problem even bigger. Over in Australia, a gun law was passed, and all gun owners, they were required to turn in all their weapons. And guess what? All their weapons got crushed. And when they turned in all their weapons, guess what happened? Armed robbery rates went through the roof. Murder rates went up like 15 to 20%. Robbery rates, 60%. Assault with deadly weapon rates, 40%. And yeah. That's what's going to happen. Do you really want to get rid of the guns? Because if so, be prepared for the worst. What are you going to do when somebody wants to hurt you? Okay? You going to fight back? Well, what happens if the bad guy already has a gun? He's going to have all the control. But I'm going to tell you this. One thing that'll stop a bad guy with the gun is a good guy with the gun. Because often the bad guys, they don't like it when the good Samaritans fire right back at them. Catches them off guard. Watch these videos on YouTube, how guns save lives, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? There's a video of 3 armed men that broke into this one guy's building. Well, guess what? They had no idea. They had no idea that the guy, he was armed and he was waiting for them. Guess what? The owner, he shot right back, and all three of those crooks, they took off running towards their car, and they fled the scene. And all three of those crooks, they were armed with big weapons. And guess what? The owner, he was armed with just a small Glock 149. And guess what? He scared those crooks off. It's better to have a gun. It's better to be armed in the case that somebody wants to hurt you so that you can be able to defend yourself. Nobody wants to kill anybody. I don't ever wish to kill anybody. I really don't. I don't want to. But when somebody, I really don't wish to ever kill anyone. But if somebody were to try and attack me or attack my friend, I'm going to have to do whatever is necessary. But it's going to be hard to do that when all the guns and weapons have all been confiscated. Okay? This is Lawn Chaser, and hope y'all agree with this. Rate, comment, subscribe, and y'all have a good evening.